What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another segment of the Gambling Lab brought to you by Bogey Proof. I got the usual crew here tonight. Got myself, TJ, Brian, and Paul. We're ready to dive into the Memorial at Jack's place this week with an asterisk on that because, as we'll get into, some course renovations going on. But, let's kick it off with something a little lighter. How's your boys' Memorial Day weekend? What did we get into? Weather's tough in New England, but, did we get any golf in? Did we watch anything last weekend? How'd we do?
We did get some golf in. Previn and I went to golf course up the street, Fairview Farms, timed it perfectly, got out as soon as the rain ended, but it was 45 degrees, windy, like 15 miles per hour. It was howling. It sucked.
It wasn't fun. It definitely wasn't fun. I was shivering by the 18th hole. We had a couple Dogfish IPA canned cocktails, which always go through interesting. We checked a list or an item off the bucket list, went viral this weekend. Check that out.
TikTok stars.
On my TikTok, we are up to 2.5 million views, almost 150,000 likes. Unbelievable. A lot of Bogey Proof content coming to TikTok. Soon come.
Absolutely.
I was able to squeak in around Friday, which weather wasn't too bad. I played Saturday, which that sucked. It was like raining sideways the entire time, but it was just one of those. Had a few buddies down, and I would just gritted through it. Had some good times, that kind of shit. Just stopped caring after like the 14th hole, where I'll just like get off this golf course. And then played again yesterday, which was Monday, and played pretty well. It was just misting the whole time, so it's nice soft conditions. So.
Yeah. And after battling what Saturday was, take that all day.
Yeah.
I played Saturday as well, and I played up at Great Horse, and it was absolutely miserable. That course is hard enough as it is, and it's like you guys are saying, like 45 and raining, and it's just like, what are we doing here? We're literally
worse than March typically, dude. Like March this year was better than that a couple weekends. Like that was a disgrace, unfortunately.
Yeah, my hand is like still stinging from like it being so cold and like catching a couple off the bottom. Like my hand still feels a little funky from that, but whatever.
Fun fact: I actually changed my socks mid-round. I told Previs like this is one of the dumbest.
Extra socks.
I brought 3 pairs of socks because I forgot my shoes, so I had these mesh shoes and my feet were getting so I changed socks after the 7th hole. Kind of helped me stay warm. Didn't help the game.
Yeah, it wouldn't be around unless TJ forgot something. So it was the shoes this time. But yeah, it was an interesting round, so to speak. But let's get into it a little bit, huh?
Yeah, let's talk Colonial. We can give Jordan a couple minutes here of just tough to not get it done with a good opportunity on Sunday, going into it with the lead. Mm-hmm. But it's he just didn't have it. I don't think it was. It's not like he was striping it and then just cracked under pressure. He just sucked from the start, right? Which can be considered choking in its own right, but like he was fighting his swing all day. I would have chalked it up to he just had a bad day at an opportune time versus, oh my God, he can't handle the moment now because he's done well in the moment for the last 5 years. So that's my quick synopsis on it. Shout out Jason Kokrak. Really been sneaky solid the last year and a half or so. So it's nice to see him get a win at a bigger event where he's got a little bit more attention. I know he won in the fall at Shadow Creek, but this one seemed to have a little bit more eyes on it. So good for him to get a solid dub.
Yeah, he hits the ball like a moose, dude. He absolutely rips the ball off the tee, and it really was fun to watch because honestly, he played like shit too. Yeah. But they had both kind of built up a lead. We spent. Because the weather was so terrible, TJ and I we're going to go play golf Sunday, but we spent the whole day watching that whole tournament. So a lot of fun to watch. Kokrak, absolutely stripes the ball. Played pretty well, I thought, overall. But, either way, they both made a lot of bogeys, and Jordan definitely had a chance. And we took Jordan live to beat Kokrak in round 4. Just didn't work out too great, that's for sure. He was definitely fighting himself.
You got to find something fun to root for, right? Take Jordan. It's actually almost, if you really want to spin zone it, it's actually kind of comforting to see how bad he played on Sunday, and he had a chance all the way until the last hole. So for all you Jordan lovers out there, you got that to kind of hang on to if you want to spin it that way.
And I'm going to spin it into a kind of similar way as well. Like I don't think it's any reason to fade him this week. If you look what he's done here at Merrifield, like he's been in the top 20 consistently throughout 4 of the last 5 tournaments. So with his recent playing of being in the top 2, I mean, hey, I'm still going to stay on the train. Jordan is hot. Jordan is here to stay. People are going to be at the tournament. They're going to be rooting for him. I mean, it just sucked to see him not perform and get it done on a Sunday. But, I mean, he's 10 of 20 making or finishing a 54-hole lead out. It's very similar to DJ, very similar to Rory. What it's not similar to is what we got to give a lot of credit to is my man Tiger Woods, who is 55 out of 59 cuts. Or sorry, after a 54-hole lead, he has gotten it done. I mean, Christ, that's over 95% or something ridiculous like that. So when you think about dominance, obviously Jordan doesn't have what Tiger has, but it's just interesting to see that compared. It's just unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah, it's a good point because
I saw that stat. It's wild.
Yeah, we get a little like because we grew up in that Tiger era, we just think that that's a thing. You have the lead going into Sunday, you should be able to get it done on Sunday, right? Like,
no.
If you look at you look at every player since Tiger, so like some of the best, right? Rory, DJ, JT, Spieth, like you're saying, like Brooks even. I think Brooks is pretty good in the majors, but outside of the majors, it's pretty more in that 50 to 60% range. Like Tiger's just lapping the field, and he's done it with way more opportunities, right? So it just goes to show how good he really was, and it almost desensitizes us as like viewers, being like, yeah, like why doesn't he just get that done? Like, does he have issues on Sunday? It's like, well, no, this is actually more like what normally happens. We just watched literally the best golfer to ever grace this earth for our entire upbringing, so we're a little numb to it. But I think you bring a good point up at like Muirfield. Like, you can't see what happened this week and feel bad about Jordan's game, right? So I think he's a guy you got to keep an eye on just because of how the hot hand, right? His creativity, all that stuff. But before we get into players, we should probably, shed some light on the changes going on at the golf course. I know TJ, you've been doing a lot of research today on that stuff, and it's interesting to see a place that's got so much history. With all the Tiger highlights you see coming out of here, all his past wins. John Rahm a couple of years ago, it's just always a big name, big player event to see them kind of do basically an overhaul of what was there and try to manipulate and kind of update the course as much as you can, being on the same piece of property.
Yeah, just doing some research on it, like this is Jack's last go around at this course. Absolutely loves it. And so he was even driving out on the course as this was being redeveloped back in 2020. In fact, it was being redeveloped while the workday was going on, right? They had a playoff going, and the 6th hole was being redeveloped while they're finishing up the tournament. But Jack really wanted to make this course like the ultimate test. And he put a lot of different bunkers in different places, move the rough in, move the rough out, fairway, let it roll. Greens are moving back and forth. Tee boxes, the same thing, moving tee boxes over so it's not a dog leg. I mean, he really did it all and took a lot of craft in this. And Jack's a guy who understands where the game is going and wanted to redesign the course so that way it's tougher on where golf is going. And I just think that's really interesting. I don't know if you can even like look at past winners and try to get a good estimate of what this course is. Like, to my knowledge, it could be completely different out there. He even changed the greens. They're now bent grass. So we're going to see it. And Fontaine, we were talking before, it was funny how you said like Adam Scott has played here for like 15 years and now has to go out there and figure this course out like it's new again. Like I that's got to suck. That's just miserable. Like, this is going to be a fun test this week.
I know they added length too, right? And obviously always changing the greens has an impact. We talked about touchdown last week. Definitely we had a couple good plays last week for some guys. Vincent Whaley was one of them. Unfortunately, no Vincent Chase this week from the Bogey Proof gang, but another top 20 from Vincent. Just putting great on bent grass. It does make a difference. But yeah, I mean, a couple guys Fontaine, are we gonna keep riding the Kazire train or what? This man is unconscious.
Dude, the T3 with authority. I mean, he made
back to back T3.
I mean, he made it look easy. The big fella's playing well. I mean,
the big fella is hitting it, baby, and I love.
They didn't change his salary, boys. Like it's literally $7,300 again. Like
yeah, it's way
I know
too
there's
cheap.
better players, but literally more players added and then just pushing it back down. Like this guy's playing incredible.
I mean, it's pretty much generally you do. These are tournaments where you can steal like tremendous value, and I think we should definitely touch on value first because when you talk value in tournaments that are basically major fields like this one is, the only really notable that's missing out there is Mr. Johnson, probably on a boat in Cabo with his wife, or no, not wife, right? Baby mama, whatever it is.
No Brooksy.
Yeah, Brooks too. That's about it. Though. Besides that, it's pretty much a loaded up field. And like, I'm looking for mispricing, and I think I already found one. And Kyle Stanley is our Vincent Whaley this week. Kyle Stanley has made like 5 out of 6 cuts. Kyle Stanley is 6,100. That is disturbingly cheap. We talk about 7,000. Yeah. Look at Kyle Stanley. 6,100 is way too cheap. Kazire, same deal. 7,300 after the way he's playing. He should be probably like 75, 76. I mean, people probably just don't believe in him still, which makes sense. But you got to ride the hot hand. Guys who can hit it. Kyle Stanley, we know Kyle Stanley. We've talked about him before. Kyle Stanley stripes the ball. Stripes the ball. Has. And Murph, I know you remember back maybe a couple years ago, Kyle Stanley was an $8,000 golfer at one point on DraftKings, and I know that, and because I remember he really rode a hot streak for a while. And that price, I don't know. Once in a while, DraftKings will mess up with the prices and stuff like that. And I think Kyle Stanley is in my first 2 lineups, no doubt.
Yeah, I think that's definitely tremendous value there. I think another one, Kevin Streelman. He's been playing well.
Can I pause you right there? Can I add mine? Because my guy is literally the same guy, Brendan Steele. But I just had to throw that in there. They do look very similar. The same guy, so we'll cover both of them at the same time. Go ahead.
But no, I think Streelman, he's been playing well, hits the ball straight. 7,500 right now on, it's just, I don't know. I think it's the perfect value in DraftKings for how he's been playing and his price.
Yeah. Ton of memorial experience for Kevin Streelman as well. Ton of experience. I know they changed the course, but it's still a familiar location, and that's going to help no matter what.
The only issue with picking him is he's going to have so much exposure, and so you always have to play that battle of. I mean, I'm saying it's probably going to be he's going to be in 20% of lineups. I feel like 15 to 20%, somewhere around there. He's going to be one of the most drafted players in daily fantasy for sure.
Yep. Yeah, and I can't figure out why, like, Brendan Steele, who I really think he's like Kevin Streelman, just has a different name, and he's $1,000 less at 6,500 and has made 14 or 17 cuts. I mean, I just see value all over this week.
Brendan Todd, I think, is lumped in that same group. Maybe not too many people will be looking at him, but he's
my whole lineup.
He's 7,200. It's like he's been playing well.
I got nothing else to talk about. You guys said everything I needed to say tonight.
I mean, hold on, TJ, I got one for you. Just shout out your boy Munoz. Huge week last week, and he's 7,100 this week. I mean, he finished what, 4th, 5th, 3rd, whatever. Like he finished top 5 this week. So it's like,
I have a rule though. If he's over $7,000, don't bite on it, because he's got to fall back under $7,000 to get that value. Like he gets a little too high at times, and you pick him, and it collapses. But to that point, right, the guy that is below $7,000 this week, that now I'm back on the train of because he's below $7,000, Lanto Griffin. I mean, actually, it was this course too. He started very hot, and he kind of stayed up there and then dropped off after making the cut. So. But he statistically has been of value under $7,000 in DFS. So Lanto's back there, and there you go. That's one of my other guys this week. I'm living in the $6,000, $7,000 range, and I'm going for a high guy like Spieth and grabbing like Colin Morikawa. Those are literally like I'm going studs and duds this week.
It might be a stars and scrubs kind of format this week. I mean. Even so, I will mention my man Emiliano every single time we have an episode. And Emiliano has been playing great golf. Another great showing last week. What was it, T8? I think real solid. Gotta love a top 10 from a
quiet too.
8,000 guy. Yeah, it was a quiet that tournament was really overshadowed, and that field was pretty overshadowed by 2 performances on the end. But Griot sub 7,000, still playing really, really good golf. He's another guy, hits it straight, stripes it, putts pretty well, gets it around there pretty well. So, yeah, I think a stars and scrubs kind of deal could certainly really pay off. There's plenty. TJ, your boy Denny McCarthy down there at 65. There's a lot of good options. There's a lot of good options, except for Cam Champ. Please don't pick Cam Champ. Please.
No, don't.
He's got
we got hurt bad a couple weeks ago on that.
Exposed, 3 weeks ago? Yeah, I mean, I think stars and scrubs is probably got to be the play this week, just because this isn't a Bombers pair or like an easy course where 24 under is going to win, where you just need to get guys that make the cut and rack up the birdie points all weekend and all that shit. You need stars and scrubs because big names come out in big events, right? I mean, you go down the list of past winners here. Tigers won here a bunch. You got like Rahm and Morikawa, and I mean, granted the course is changing, but at the end of the day, it's Jack's tournament, right? They're always talking about the fucking milkshakes and all that bullshit that goes along with this place, and like all the history here or whatever, like all that shit. But like, it's like a major, right? Big guys come out and they play well in the big events because that's where like they try and trend to, especially with this one being really tightly in between 2 majors. Like a lot of top end guys are not really messing around right now.
No, we're grinding right now. Yeah, we're in full grind mode
and trying to get
good test right here.
Yeah, and trying to get that like momentum for the U.S. Open in a week or 2. So that being said, I mean, you got to think it's going to be one of your top 5 guys in DFS is going to be either winning this or like top 3, right? Like they're gonna have a say in this, and then you just got to hope you pick the right cheap guys to make the cut and salvage you some weekend points to kind of supplement that. But it just doesn't, especially with all the nuances to like a course changing, them having to put so much into their practice rounds and kind of have to feel their way out around the course and be a little bit probably defensive, right? If you don't really know what's going on out there, you're going to play to middle of green more and yada, 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 which inherently makes the scores be a little bit higher. I don't think you're going to see it get to 20 this week, right? It's going to be more that 10 to 12 range, which is honestly probably the more compelling golf to watch. It seems like it's got the good balance of offense and, they do make bogeys and doubles. It's like out there still. So I'm hoping that's where the number ends up, but it'll be interesting to see how like a tournament plays after being completely overhauled a golf course like so shortly, like courses need time to like grow in and like become, like granted they have unlimited money to do this kind of stuff. So that obviously makes a difference, but it is something that kind of interests me, I guess.
Yeah, I think the last, last 10-year range, then that's something I harped on last time, and we were pretty close with our around 20 under projection. We got to 14, so we're pretty much, we're trending toward that. I think it's anywhere from 9 to 19 under par wins. So that 10 to 12 range does feel perfect. So birdies will be made, no doubt about that. So we like to hear that. But yeah, we want some guys who can putt it. I mean, Jack. I feel like Jack always harps on the putting and stuff like that. He's is just like an old schooler guy. So we'll see if these greens kick their ass. They might. I mean, Jack's certainly not going out there to make it any easier. And TJ harped on his last go around. He's not going to go out there and make it a patty cake course. That's for sure. So I'm looking for guys who can putt it, bank grass splits again. Let's fire that up. Be all the Griot again. And I'll see you guys in the green. This is about.
So from last year, the cut line was 3 over. Winner was 9 under. I think this is when John Rahm was assessed the penalty. Didn't he like fluff the ball up, made the shot, gave him 2 after that? So really, it was 11 under, went down to 9 under. I think it's going to be right around there. Actually, he won by 3. Ryan Palmer came in second with 6 under. Tony Finau was up there, 8 under, shot 6 over 78 on the final day. Finished like, I don't know,
Tony
20, something like that.
Yeah, refire.
Tony. Yeah,
refire.
Yeah. Well, hey, he was up there, so it's really not a bad idea for some of those guys. But I really do think I don't think it's going to be much higher than 10 under. I think it's going to be right around there. I don't know why, but I was looking at some of the Sunday scores from last year. These guys were shooting like 76s through 78s. I don't know if there was wind that
It
popped
burned
up,
out
but
last year. It was Ron's,
did it
right?
burn out?
I'm right on. Is that the yeah?
Mhm.
It was burnt
Rom.
to shit last year. Like it was playing like a British Open with rough, basically, of like how firm the greens were. They couldn't hold wedges in the greens, like
Yeah, that
like
makes
that.
sense though,
Yeah.
right? Because Jack remodeled the course anyway, so why do I care about it? Make it as okay. So this is it, I think it's gonna play totally.
I mean,
different.
Jack. I think Jack originally designed it too, though. Like I know he's changing it, but he's changing it not to be like what he wants. Like he built what he wants, but now he has to fix it because golfers are changing. They're athletes now. They're pounded so far that like the way he had it set up before, if they didn't make conditions ridiculous like that, scores are 20-ish under. You know, like the par fives are all gettable, and you know it doesn't become like the true test that you know a guy like him wants it to be. Right? He's a best major champion ever, and like he strives for the challenge of golf. He doesn't want to set it up and see what we can get out of like the people like with 20-ish, 25. Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, what was that? Did I get that?
Somebody's kid's missing. Hey guys, Amber Alert! If you listen to this live,
2002 blue Chevy Mellow, 2010. Sorry.
Jesus.
Well,
anyways,
so Murph all over fit. Yeah. Side note,
we gotta get that guy.
A lot of Victor, huh? You like Victor? I got him in 3 or 4. I'm making 5, so I'm got him in 3 out of 5 this week. I'm heavy on Victor.
I don't have him.
I like Victor. I think I also like Matty Fitz.
Matty Fitz, huh?
He plays
I think
well.
I like him.
The harder he gets, the better he plays.
Like he's another
firm for him, but
I saw him in the PGA. He seems like he's been really like enjoying his beers recently because he's got quite the stomach on him now. He was a stick when he won that USAM. He's put on a little weight.
That's
and
what
I don't know if it,
I need that.
Direct correlation, Paul. More drinking, better scores.
Possibly. Like, who's to say?
Mental, I'll tell you that. Your body might not cooperate as much, but you got a better approach at it. And then you're not as wound up.
You know, I know we're talking about, you know, trying to round it to form with the US Open and someone who values majors a lot, Justin Thomas. How do we feel about him? Do we think
we discussed him, right? What did we discuss last time, Fontaine? We discussed him. Justin Thomas is the stock market. He literally is. You catch him on the down low, and he's got a higher ceiling than anyone in this entire tournament because he'll make more birdies than everyone. And you got to catch him on the explosion, and maybe that is this week. You know, he does. You know, we talked about it a little bit last week. We said fade him last week, and you know. He finished T40, so it wasn't great. He started to heat up a little bit toward the end. TJ, I know you had some exposure to him. He heated up, you know, Saturday a little bit, but couldn't really get it going. And you know, plain and simple, a T40 for Justin Thomas is a losing lineup.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah,
you will lose, no doubt. So you know, you need, you know, anytime you pick these guys, this is why DraftKings could be so tough. Is when you pick these guys like Justin Thomas, you need T15 minimum for Justin Thomas to maybe have a shot. You know, that's where we're at. So I'm iffy on JT. I don't know what I'm going to do about JT just yet. Bryson. I mean, is Bryson gonna do it at some point? Is he coming?
I have no
see
more
Rahm
fun.
and Bryson and Rory up there, that 3 right there, and I don't know what to do with any of them really.
I'm out on Bryson because I just don't want to root for him anymore. I'm just kind of sick of it at this point. I don't know. Like, doesn't do it for me anymore. It's not like, okay, I get it, you hit it far, but like just like his personality that comes through and everything else, I'm just like, all right, man, like I get it. You know, like he just seems like just very it's tired for me. And like because of that, like I'm not spending how much he costs because like if I'm spending that money, that's got to be my horse for the week, you know. And like I'm not just like I can't get myself emotionally invested.
He just put up a what's in the bag. He put up a what's in the bag on YouTube, dude. He put one up. I've been watching some of his videos. He's like talking about his irons. He's like, "This is the stiffest shaft on the market." Like he is such a hardo. It is unbelievable.
Exactly. The
Did
biggest.
you see his Instagram story? He's like showing his foot wear patterns because like he's such a psycho with his feet, which is sick. I mean, because he is a 6-wing, but like still, he is the biggest fucking hardo in golf. It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't tell if I'm tired of him or not yet.
Yeah. And to go back to JT real quick, I think what was promising last week, even though the finishing isn't, is he sucked on Thursday. And we all kind of talked about it last week. Like, he could very easily just say, yeah, see ya, I'm going to go get ready for Jax in the Open. But he kind of grinded and played really, really well on Friday and got himself kind of back in the mix for a half a second until the afternoon wave went out. And then he kind of fell back to like 30th or whatever. But like got him inside the cut line where he would have been outside of it if he didn't play well. So at least he like there's at least progress being made, even if it's not the final product yet, which – for these guys, any kind like it doesn't take much, kind of, especially a guy with his talent. Once he finds one little thing to click, like watch out. So, like you said, it's close. It might not be this week, but I also at the same time wouldn't be surprised if it is because he did lose in the playoff to Morikawa here at it was technically the workday, not the Memorial, but it was at the same course the week before. So he's got some good vibes around here. I would not be surprised if he comes out firing, but I'm still little skeptical. I'm not all the way back yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I completely appreciate where you're coming from there. Like, if anybody is gonna flip the switch, right? These guys like JT, Rory, it's immediate, right? They get a little head of steam, they roll over into another tournament, and they go off. I mean, we've talked about it before. Rory did it. He had a couple good glimpses of a good round, went in, won that next tournament. I mean, JT comes down to 10,200. Check what his odds are in terms of winning the tournament outright. I wouldn't be surprised if he's up there, giving you guys a chance to sweat it out on Saturday and Sunday. For DK, comes down to 10-2. He was 11,100 last week. I think he was like 200 behind Spieth. So that's not bad. You're not going to get a lot of times where he's that low, but to kind of transition over of like studs and duds and like picking your top two guys, top two pairings, I'll turn it over to you guys. If you had to pick like a top two pairing, who are your two stars, your two studs that you're picking to go hand in hand and then filling out the rest of your lineup? Because I brought it up, I'll go ahead and give you guys one that I really think. Kyle Morikawa and JT. I think that's a really good one right there.
Yeah, you can really load the top half of the lineups this week, which is fun. I mean, hopefully,
and keep it.
This is one of those tournaments. This is one of those tournaments, honestly, where there actually is so much value to it, where you almost have to be careful. And actually, a good way to do DraftKings in ways that I've had success in the past with golf, personally, is that actually you go contrarian, right? Everyone will see the value. The value is not hidden. There is a loaded list between 7,300 and 6,100. I'll drop it all the way down to Kyle Stanley, right? If you actually grow with a little bit more balanced approach, you might actually have some success. So I would definitely mix in a little contrarian as well. But TJ, to harp on your point, I mean, I'm looking at I'm making a team right now, and currently it has Rahm and JT in it. I have some Victor and Colin, which I love, and Victor and Schauffele, which I also love. Heavy on Victor this week. Let's get it. He's winning one of these damn tournaments. I don't know which one it's going to be. I hope it's this one. I really do. But he's winning one of these, so I don't know which one it's going to be. But, yeah, you could definitely load the top, or you can kind of go, with some cut makers and what have you. I mean, I had a lineup last week that had all 6 guys make the cut, and I did not cash. So,
that hurt.
It's an interesting way to think. Yeah, that sucked. It was an interesting, unbelievable, really ridiculous. I can't believe I don't even know what to do. Daniel Berger sucked. But either way, or whoever it was, I don't even know. It wasn't even him. I don't even. Yeah, well, it's not good enough, Paul. I need better.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm the only one that had all 6 in the top 20. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Chiseled freak show. But yeah, I don't know. You could do anything in these kind of tournaments. It's one of those where I would go almost a little bit lighter on the entry fees, because if your value shits the bed, have fun in last place on every tournament. Like, it's possible. It is. So gotta look out for that.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick, two like those stars that you're saying, I think I'd go Cantlay and Victor this week.
Yes, I like Cantlay.
Cantley's played well here in the past. He has good
You're gonna
course
wake
history.
up though. He's been an absolute dud the last 2 months.
He hits his iron so well. I think,
He switched putters. He's
Dan.
been. I agree. He played really, really well here. I think he won a couple years before Ron, right?
Yeah.
And he, like you said, he fucking ball striker. But
I think he blew people out too that week.
Sums up within the last couple months because I was all in on him like going into Augusta because of how he played there in the past and whatever, and he shot like 100. Like I don't know what, like he's got some demons right now, but I love the Victor. If I'm picking 2 horses at the top here, Victor. I'm on the Victor train. Like Prev said, too many top 5s to not have won one yet. It's coming, and maybe it's a back at Torrey. Like I don't know, but. I'm going for it this week, and then I'm going with Rory. I think as Kiowa wasn't what he wanted. He putted like shit, and like if he putts halfway decent, he ends up getting in that top 15 area, which shows that like it's still getting better. Like I think, and like we're saying right with guys like JT or whatever, like it doesn't take much. If he just gets something to kind of click, whether it's in his brain or his swing or something. And, maybe new greens, maybe he's better off not knowing what the fuck's out there and like kind of a more free, like, let's see, like it just a less like analyzed and like less like going to the book and trying to do like, let's see what's out there. We don't even know. Let's trust what we see versus like having all this like past experience and notes and all that shit. Cause you can kind of like double guess yourself. That's not the
I
right
like that. Avoid the mental approach with Rory. That's it's not a bad idea.
It's making more reactionary instead of like trying to dissect everything. So those are my 2 like if we're trying to go this high low game. Those are the 2 that I like this week towards the top.
I definitely have a balanced team too. I mean, I do my usual triple, right? Teach, and the only guy I'm kind of lost this week because I can't put Daniel Berger in 80%. But my usual triple: Tony, Patty Reed, Louis Oosthuizen. You already know. Get Louis out there. Louis has been having such a great season, and I think he continues that this week for sure. Once again, another guy hits it straight, putts well. Great.
I love Cam Smith.
Cam Smith is in that team too.
I get him every time the price is right.
I think the price is right. I mean, 86 injured.
Weaker fields, he gets jacked up in like the 9s sometimes, and it's like, ugh, that's a lot. But
what about when you like Sanjay too? What about Sanjay bounce back?
Sanjay's a little off this year. I like he's he's good enough, but like it hasn't been his like in 2019 and I think 2022. It was just like automatic top 10 every week. It was like he put on a fucking clinic, and he ended up winning the Honda, and like you're expecting him to like take that and like catapult this year and just be like, here we fucking go, and it's just like he hasn't been there. He's like he keeps making like he'll have like one either round or just make like have a ridiculous 9 holes in there somewhere where he's like way over par, and then he'll play the other 50 whatever holes or 60 holes of the golf tournament like lights out. So there's something in there. Obviously, it's probably mental if you're able to do it that well for as many holes as he does, and then it just kind of blows up on you. But there's a little something there because he hasn't had the year I think he expected.
I'm looking at some numbers too. It looks like driving accuracy at this course, according because I always read on this Rotoballer article that I read a lot, and they kind of compare like what successful driving distance and driving accuracy is on this course generally based on future or past data, and then what like kind of tour average is. And this one says tour average for driving distance is 61%, and in the past, like success at Murrayfield is 69%. So that's a pretty big jump. So maybe some straight ball hitters, even some good value at the end we didn't talk about. My boy Matty Kuchar, I think, is not a bad pick this week either. Another experienced guy, gets it around. And Paulie mentioned Brendan Todd before, and I think Kuchar's kind of in the same boat. Guys like Brendan Todd and Kuchar, you've seen them, and we've seen Brendan Todd where I forgot what tournament he was when he was top 5 last year or whatever, but it was a longer course, and Brendan Todd and Kuchar aren't longer hitters, and they still do really, really well. So it's like it's not always that narrative. That narrative isn't like, oh, it's a Bombers course, I got to pick Bombers only. It's not always how it works. You're just trying to find some guys who are dialed, and Matt Kuchar's got some good experience, and I feel like he's played the same golf the last 100 years. So, it's, I don't think does that guy get hot or cold, or does he just stays right in the line?
Yeah, he just hits these slap cuts for a 6'4" dude, and
he can't even hit it into the rough because he can't reach it.
Yeah.
So it's like he can't reach the rough where Rory can reach it. If they hit it on the same line, no matter what, unless he snap hooks it or slices it in the wood, if they hit it on the same line, it's like he can't reach the trouble that they put out on these courses because they're setting all these bunkers up now for guys who can carry the ball 290 yards, and that's not Matt Kuchar's game. Right. So it's like he's just never in trouble, I feel like. And, maybe that'll be a guy this week. I don't know. I'll have a little bit.
Yeah.
1 out of 5.
What the hell is Ricky Fowler doing at 8,000?
I saw that. I saw that going. I was like, whoa! I was like, relax, DK.
He wins one PGA, or sorry, he comes in
seventh at one PGA. Like right back to 8,000.
Oh God! And for our Brian Previtt's easiest fade of the week, coming in at 8,000, Ricky Fowler. As Nick Faldo said, he's got to go film some more commercials because he'll be filming plenty on Saturday and Sunday because he is not making the cut at this course. He's just not doing it. What? I'm sure he'll win now. But
yeah,
I couldn't fathom spending $8,000 on fucking Ricky Fowler, but I can say 7,600 Bezadenhout. You're gonna get
who?
Shout out Eric back on the regular Bogey Proof staff here, picking him at the Players, and everybody in the comments is like, who the fuck is that guy? I think he finished like 7th. So like and he's a Euro Tour guy that pops over and just does play well.
Yeah, he pops over and this guy plays great golf, man. He's 11 of 11.
Oh boy.
I don't care where you play.
TJ's never missed a cut.
Fade.
He is not. Yeah, well, when I pick of a guy who hasn't missed a cut, he's probably going to miss the cut. But no, hammer him. 7,600, great value. Yeah. He's up there too.
I will change though. The easiest fade is not Ricky Fowler. It's actually Mr. Fontaine's boy, Sammy Burns. This week, I think is the easiest fade. Absolutely way too expensive. Got injured, dropped out of the PGA after 9 holes, so that was fun for the I think it was like the 12 or 13% that had him. That's always fun. So smell you later. However much that entry fee was, you might as well go light it on fire. But yeah, I think real easy fade. I think he was starting to regress a little bit too, and then walked right into an injury. So maybe he'll go off, but it seems like, and if he does, you tip your cap, but he'll probably be 1% owned, and it sounds like a fade to me. Sam Burns. So I was looking at him, and I think a guy right at his price point, you go $100 cheaper for my guy Jocko Neiman, and I think that is a way better pick.
I agree.
Way better pick.
You can't spend that much money on a guy coming off an injury. You no matter how good he was going into it, you just don't know. It's not like he's. Did he even play last week? I don't think he did. It's not like you've seen him since he's been injured. So how are you going to spend more than Jocko, who's been overall super, super solid all season?
17 of 17.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That'll be 18 of 18 after this week for sure.
So last week, you guys had certain players that you did not want to pick in your lineup that I ended up putting in my lineup and it actually cashed. So I just want to say thank you guys for giving me those words of encouragement. I'm going to follow back again this week. So tell me again who you guys are fading.
Was the big one Jordan last week that you wrote in? Yeah, okay. Because I think he tried giving shit for the JT one, but he came in 40th, so you don't get credit for that. I will give you credit for Jordan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will make sure that Sam Burns is in the lineup.
Okay, you do that. You can do that. Let's not forget about the differences between Jordan Spieth and Sam Burns. Okay? Sammy might be better, but who knows?
8,900 and could have faced higher. You guys don't like Bezadenhout.
Throw Jimmy Walker in there. Go ahead.
What's good with Bezadenhout? Do I got to do this? Does he have a picture?
No, let me be the guy that goes out there, proves you wrong, like always. Like I've done.
If you really want to stick it to us, TJ, I want Ricky Fowler 100% owned across your board.
Yeah.
It won't be 100%. I can't do that. That's just I was just shitting on him 1 minute, and now I'm gonna pick him because you guys don't like him. So
just saying, if you really want,
basically, I'll lose everything if Kyle Stanley misses the cut. So we'll see.
Throw Jimmy Walker in that lineup too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You want Jimmy in that lineup?
Big Jim.
Oh, Cam Chin.
Yep,
What about Cam
Put
Chin?
him in there.
Yep,
He's got no chance. You
Oh, you know who's
Jay
back?
lineup.
Look who's back at 7,000. Kai Lee, baby. Come on now. Come on.
Boy.
Yeah. Nasty. Come on. Not a good showing at the PGA, but come on, that's bigger than him. He can't do that.
Off of a win? Yeah.
You can't expect that. Come on, give me a break. Just an easy little one. Coming right back from Muirfield.
Bigger than
T58, win, cut. Love this guy.
How about Richie Rensky at 67?
Yeah, I was looking at Richie. Too.
I'm sprinkling. So I guess I don't know if we want to go through this now. This will probably cover all the other guys we're going to talk about, but you want to wrap up our lineups here. Unless your top two change of what your actual lineup is, I can go through mine first if you guys need to finalize. Mm-hmm. But I only say that because you mentioned him. So I said Hovland and Rory are my two like horses at the top. My cheapies, we got Richie at 67, who honestly like he usually does pretty good the first 2 days and then just shoots 5 over on the weekends and comes in 40th every week. Like he usually is in the top 20 going in the weekend and just falls off. So for 6,700, I'll take that. My other cheapie is Harry Higgs, top 5. Tough guy to root against, like I can't see myself kind of not riding with him. I'll go 6,900 for him all day. And then the middle lineup honestly might be the favorite part of my lineup here. Cam Smith, who we talked about, back in his wheelhouse at like 86. That's a much better price for him than anywhere near the 9s.
It is.
And then our guy Kazire, they're just disrespecting him at 7,300 again. I can't let that slip through the cracks again. Until he burns me, I'm riding with him. Unless his price skyrockets, I'm rolling with Pat and Kazire. I mean, 5 top 10s this year, 17 out of 20 cuts. And you're telling me he's $800 cheaper than Ricky fucking Fowler this week? Like, sure, whatever you say. I mean, come on.
Yeah, another guy I actually just found at the bottom that I'm looking at here. I don't think he's as good as Kyle Stanley personally, but a guy that I'm going to sprinkle, Russell Knox should be more than 6,100. That is just way too low. I don't know where. I don't know where they're coming up with that price, but that's just not correct. I mean, he should be right in that 6,600 range right there. So
I think the intern this week. I think the intern stepped up and made all the salaries for.
Fun fact, I have a friend from the town over who actually used to work for DraftKings and was part of their team, who actually helped set the lineup salaries for the NBA. And he said they would make mistakes all the time. So it does happen. It definitely does happen. So those are pretty solid golfers who have had success in the past. It's just like 6,100. We're talking borderline in the 5,000s. Like that is ridiculous.
And both of those guys you're calling out there, Prev, have 2 top 10s this year. So like
T30, if Kyle Stanley comes in 41st, he smashes value.
Right, exactly.
It matters the first 2 days. They got to make the cut. Right. That's the only thing.
He makes a cut, he's a smash. That's it. So
it's got to be top 50% of the field. So
Richie Warinsky.
So what's your go-to lineup here this week?
Me? Yeah. This is one I just made that I'm absolutely in love with. Victor, Corey C, Cam Smith, Sanjay, Adam Scott, Kyle Stanley. Love it. That's going to be my hammer.
What's Adam Scott been up to recently? Because he had a good start to the year, but I really haven't seen him much besides his fucking horrendous colors.
I don't know. I'm just in love with Adam Scott.
I mean, best golfer ever.
7,900.
Somebody needs to dress him besides whoever is currently, because you gotta stop wearing like maroon and brown and tan and shit. It's like really painful. But I mean, especially
under 8K.
Yeah,
79.
I think he's
an excellent golfer.
He's made almost all the cuts this year except probably the Masters, right?
Yeah, it's the only one.
Yeah,
he's made a lot, and he's under 8K. So thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. We'll see what happens. If he putts like an asshole, miss the cut, which is, probably
very, very up his
alley.
Yeah. All right, boys. Let me lighten some some insight on my end.
Light some money on fire.
Light some money on fire, yeah, and then triple it. Cam Davis, $7,000, 15 and 19 cuts made. Victor Hovland, Patton Kazire, Colin Morikawa, Cam Smith at 8,600. And my steal of the week is literally Brendan Steele. You see what I did there, Brendan? You see what I
did there? You know what?
DJ,
this is it, though. This is what we talked about before. These prices this week, the intern definitely set them. These prices,
intern
data
second,
analysts
horrible.
were out of the office early on Friday and just
long weekend. They didn't put it.
Yeah.
They weren't
the guy's
there
on
in the office
vacation. He's
Monday.
coming back.
Yeah.
Forget it.
He comes back on Tuesday and sees the intern put this shit in on Monday. Dude, that guy is fucking. He's not.
Yeah,
getting
and once those are
not.
posted, I don't think they don't change them, right, Murph? I think once they're
if they do, you get like a notification.
Yeah, they'll do it very, very. It's rare. It's very rare.
Yeah, they just leave them. They don't care. They know 80% of people are losing anyways. They don't give a shit.
Yeah,
they're just gonna leave it. This is the thing, though. This is what you're talking about. When there's so much value, it could go horribly wrong. So
it sounds like based on what our lineups are like, all it takes is Victor to have a bad 2 days, and we're all fucked.
Yeah, literally. Gamble responsibly, because this is one of those weeks where, in the quotes of the great Ricky Bobby, you're first or last for sure, and generally last is
more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take third for like 25.
I feel like we all have similar players here, because I'm going Hovland, Cantlay, Matty Fitz, Gary Woodland.
Love Woodland.
Brendan Todd and KFS. Kyle fucking Stanley.
Kyle fucking Stanley. Come on, Kyle! God!
Bro.
God, if he goes
I'm pretty
off
sure
this
that's
week,
his initials. I'm pretty sure that's his initials.
Murph, I might put my free play on Kyle Stanley top 10.
Love it.
Hammer bag.
Yep.
Get him at probably what, plus 10,000? Come on.
Yeah. Let me speaking of that, let me pull up some odds here and see, and I'll rattle off a couple to wins and to top 10 and see if you guys think anything stands out. Let me pull this up.
Also, TJ, obviously have my other classic pairing is Tony Finau and Patrick Reed, without question. Please have Patrick Reed exposure every week. Don't be the one guy that doesn't pick him. Just have one team with him, please.
It was alarming though this week that like some slap around course didn't go out there and at least make the cut. But we have some support. Really?
It was a poor performance. There was a rain delay mix in there. We all know what a piece of shit he is. But guess what? DraftKings doesn't care about your feelings. DraftKings cares about results. So I'm looking for results. And I think rain delay probably just had him, and it was like Charles Schwab. He thinks he's better than that tournament. Don't doubt him. He is better than it. So he was probably just, he shot 68 the first day and then goes out, bogeys like 1 or 2 holes in the beginning, and then rain delay, and then shot like 74 and missed a cut. I mean, it was like, it wasn't horrible, but like I think rain delay threw him off a little bit. That's how I would look at it, at least. So definitely not a full fade, please. He hits the driver straight. That's what you need here. He's a great driver, the golf ball. Just come on.
He needs some thick roughs. He needs some challenge to it. I mean,
and he's a great putter, Matt Fontaine, right? Like we talk about every week. He's not going to give a shit about new greens. He puts his ass off no matter what. And that's it. That's it. Fire it up.
All right. We got Prev, your favorite, JT, 13.5 to 1 this week to win.
JT's 13.5?
Yeah. Victor.
Who's the favorite to win? Jordan or
Jordan.
Rom?
Rom based
I thought it was Rom.
He's not the highest in DK, but he is the highest in this book. Then Jordan, then JT, then Jordan, then Bryson.
Which
14
Jordan?
to 1. Bryson the same. Victor, who we've talked a lot about, is 18 to 1. That seemed. But the thing to win, man, it's like that's tough. I mean,
look at top 10 instead.
Yeah, let's go top 10 finish.
You also can look at make the cut odds too, which will give you a general sense. Like Sam Burns, I just looked at, is minus 250 to make the cut. That is very, very low.
Oh,
like those odds are way too good, and that tells me a lot. Colin Morikawa is minus 700 to make the cut. Okay, like that to give you an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, one of the better top 10s here. You got Joe Keem at 3.5 to 1.
Patton Kazire minus 190 making the cut. What?
Wait, do we have a number on Kyle Stanley?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
I don't know
right now, but I had to stop.
He's got to be at the bottom.
Yeah, he's not even on there. People don't even know he's playing.
Patton Kazire 7 to 1 to top 10.
But why is he minus 190 to make the cut in this book? I'm putting it in right now.
He's been rolling.
He can't go make a cut for me. I think he can do it.
John Rahm's minus 150 to top 10. I would fade the shit out of that.
Actually, I don't want to do that.
Those odds are crazy. Top 10.
Not crazy on John Rahm this week, just because he's not playing too well. I mean, he hasn't been playing well.
I think those are too those odds are way too heavy on him. I think that I'd like the opposite side of that. I don't think he's gonna make the top 10. I think he could, but I think he's either top 3 or 30th or 25th. It's the top 10 means he's basically gonna win, and I don't know if that's the case. He hasn't played that well.
He's been getting so aggressive, getting so angry on the courses. He's got to be losing sleep from this kid, dude. He's something's going on. He's so angry. It's first tee, first hole on Thursday, and he's hitting it way right, and he's just getting so upset. It's dude, calm down here. You're good.
That's how he rolls, though. He's a lunatic.
Yeah, we love him for it. We love him for it.
Yeah, of course. He's a little there's going to be a week he's going to pick it up. Hey, what better week to do than the week that you won?
Cam Smith with some big odds to finish top 10, plus 500 too.
I love
interesting.
Yeah, I love
finish top 10?
Yeah. Yep. So should we do some final plays? Should we do bank account plays? We got to do bank account
play of the week.
Let's do it.
Bank account play of the week. I don't have one yet.
I don't either.
I
haven't been able to make a decision here. I will say, shout out the ladies golfers. They're out on the West Coast, U.S. Women's Open, Olympic Club. It'll be some good late night viewing. I'm throwing a little on Nelly Korda to win this week, 18 to 1. So
I like that.
Just something to watch at night.
Prime time on the West Coast.
Yeah,
women's sports has some easy money. A couple women's tennis tournaments ago, Naomi Osaka plus 450 to win. Smasher.
She's not playing the French Open this week.
Yeah, so Ashley Barty, we got this week. We'll talk about that later. Different podcast. Hammerbag. You like your boy? Is it Corey? I mean, is it Corey top 20? Is it Vic top 20? Man, maybe a Vic top 10, a Vic top 20. I don't have a play I'm super confident in because of these new greens, and I don't know. Is Jack gonna try to create a slaughter out there? He might try. And that does worry me a little bit.
They didn't shoot particularly well last year, and if he makes it any tougher, and these guys don't know the course that much, I think it could be that way. But
I might have to look at some top European.
I think I'm going to go a first-round leader just because Paul just has got me hooked on him just because of the juice you get on the odds on these things. It's just so much more fun than betting top 10s and shit because the odds are just so
they're broken.
Yeah, they're not great. So I'm thinking a little first-round leader, and how about this? I'll give you guys. Nope, this is bank account play. I got to be decisive. I'm gonna go.
First round leader is tough for the bank account.
I think
really tough.
Bank account was looking a little bit more safer.
Charlie disappointed me in the bank account play last week, but he still finished 5th. So Charlie Hoffman.
Great play. Yeah.
He was first round leader wasn't there, but he had a good week. So I'm in the right ballpark. I just got to try and get the right day out of these clowns. I'm gonna go. I think I might just go Victor all week. I think I'm gonna go Victor 25-1 for first round.
I like.
See, that's
that,
what I'm saying.
actually.
The odds are so much more attractive here, where it's like I can sprinkle a little on that. I'm willing to take that risk.
I'll split that way. I'll do a split. Maybe we should do something where all four of us are in. We're all in it together, so we could all burn down the. Let's do something. Let's put something in together. A first round leader. Let's just. Do we like Vic? Do we like Vic?
That's my guy for the week. Let's go around the horn, see where we're all at, and then see if somebody.
I like Vic. I love those odds, and I like him coming out blazing. And then if he's gonna lose this tournament, right? I mean, if I feel like it'll come toward the end. Normally he starts hot. That's like he always gets going, right? I mean, he's a quick birdie kind of guy, and he hits it straight, which we like that. I know they all hit it straight. We want guys who don't really fuck it up when they fuck it up, and he's not that bad, except for that one little episode he had at what was that, the PGA or whatever, or that was the Players maybe. He had a little episode.
Maybe the Players.
I think it was the Players. He did something stupid. He made like 100. I'm down for first round leader for Victor. I like that. 25 to win 500. Right?
5-1, so $50 gets you $1,200.
All right.
I already got Victor locked in as. Do I have him first round leader? No, I don't. Never mind.
No. I'll throw 20 on Victor. I don't have first round leaders on my book, which is very, very obnoxious. I'll have to talk, but yeah, I'm down. If we want to do a $20 on it,
sure.
Who can put that in for us?
I got it. You got it. I got it. I got it up already.
20, 40, 60, 80, $80. All right. Well, are you down for that, TJ? Put some input in here, kid. You want Victor? Victor, he doesn't want it. Fuck him.
No, I don't feel confident because I'm going to go different with a lock of the week. I want to go Xander Schauffele top 10.
Top 10? All right.
Okay.
Stud. He's a stud.
All right. I guess maybe I should rethink my bank account plays because that's like a real good bank account play. My play, I'm trying to maximize my bank account. I'm not trying to secure my bank account.
You want me to maximize my bank account?
Yeah, we're looking at
making the cut.
I might have to put a caveat on my bank account play of the week. I'm trying to blow my bank account up. I'm not trying to. I'm not
with that
401k play of the week.
Let's go. Yeah, man. I like Schauffele. That's a good play, TJ. It is. I think he, another guy, just absolute stud. So, there's no other way around it.
Hits it straight, like
under a good price. 9,700 is about as cheap as we're gonna see. He was 10,000. Like he was like 10-3 a few weeks ago. I feel like it's PGA Championship. He kind of sucked. But that's not really a good game log play to look at. A little harder course, obviously. Kiowa was a beast. Courses like Kiowa, there are going to be a lot of guys who just can't find it. And if they can't find it for the slightest bit at a course like Kiowa, they're going to shoot 100. And that's what happened to Schauffele, I think. So I don't put a lot of stock into that. And he's another guy who is always really getting tuned up for majors. I've seen him, like, he really wants to win a major and stuff like that. So I like Schauffele. That's a good play, Teach. I might ride that with you as well. But yeah, definitely got some DFS exposure as well.
Paulie, Pro, what do you guys got? Bank accounts?
I'm going Cantlay and Neiman, both first round leaders. Cantlay's 30-1, Neiman's 45-1,
Good job,
Paul. I'm waiting on Neiman at some point. Yeah. He's gonna make like 10 birdies in a round, and he's gonna go nuts.
You see him do it when it's like when he on an early Saturday, and he fires up that leaderboard. He does it on a Friday afternoon to be in like top 5. So it's just a matter of him picking the right day for you. That's all it is.
Exactly. I just need that. I think it's my second week in a row. I think I had him last week too, his first round leader.
I got him on one. I did make 6 lineups. I always make more lineups every time we do this. I definitely need to add Jocko. I like that too. I can't copy Murph, so if my top 10 of the week, give me Griot top 20, huh? Come on.
Yeah. You gotta back it up somehow.
I like that.
Yeah, I've been playing real good. I love him playing. He's just good. I mean, They showed like one shot of his on Sunday, and he has it was like a par 3. He gets no TV time. More disrespect. But it was like a par 3. It was an absolute dart. I was jacked. It's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be it. I'm gonna put it in. Grillo. I mean, even Corey Connors plus 200 top 10 is like, that's like not great odds, but a lot of times Vegas is telling you something too. So it's like, you gotta kind of listen. We didn't mention your boy Scotty Scheffler. Do we hate him? I feel like he's been playing like shit.
Yeah, he's not playing well.
He's like, I feel like every time they show him now, he's missing some shorties, which that's not like, these guys are, lights out from inside 8 feet, I think is kind of where they draw the line to being like, in the 90% range of making them. And when you're not doing that, like, it's really hard to finish well on tour because, they're not playing a chip and putt every week, right? So you're going to have to make a lot of those, even if they're for par, not for birdie, but you got to make a lot of them to just keep your rounds going and momentum. And I feel like he's kind of in a little bit of a funk right now with the putter, which always feeds into the rest of your game and makes it very difficult, right? We've all played a decent amount of golf. There's nothing worse than when you have no, like, every green you step on is a 2 or a 3 putt. You're not making shit. And it's like, to do it at the level he's at, it's like that feeds into his iron play, his driving. And he's like, puts more pressure on the other areas of your game because you're trying to, compensate for not being able to make shit unless it's like a kick in. So I just don't think he's got great form right now, and he's not in that upper echelon of guys where you want to get him when his price drops because he's going to figure it out. I think he might be a little bit more of it's more of a, I'm not saying he's going to struggle for long term, but it's not like that quick of a switch for him compared to a guy like we talked about with Rory or JT or one of those guys that when they dip, buy it because they're going to come back like with a vengeance. I think for him it might just be a little bit longer of a process, just the way he plays. He's not that level for me.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely, maybe he's trending toward kind of more of a streaky guy. I think that's a lot of these guys can be. Golf is really, really interesting where it's not like baseball or football or NBA, where it's like some of the guys are streaky and other ones just come and go as they please. Yeah. You never know. You never know when the golf swing's going to disappear. It's not the NBA where they're shooting 500 threes a game. Steph Curry starts 0 for 7. He could finish 10 for 20, and it's like, okay. Yeah. With golf swing, you never know when it's just going to come and go with these guys. So some of them are streaky, some of them are. That's why, and who's the streakiest? Patton Kizzire is like the streakiest golfer I think there is. Yeah. When it goes for him, we know when it goes. That's for sure.
And the other thing with golf too, it's like you're not playing the same place every week, right? So it's not only your golf swing, it's does the course fit you even if you are playing well? Like if it's a course that just doesn't fit your eye right, like that's just inherently going to make it harder for you that week, no matter how well you're playing. Like there's certain courses that fit a fade, that's certain courses that fit a draw, and like if you don't hit that shot type, you're working that much harder all week than the other guys that you're playing against are. So that's another thing too, like outside of like maybe he just plays so well in the beginning of the year because those golf courses fit him better. And that's just over years, he'll build up that trend and you'll be able to spot that. It's definitely something to keep an eye out when you find a guy that is streaky. Is it his play that's streaky where like his results are just, they don't match up to the course style? Or is it like, take the trees out of play, make it firm and fast. This guy's a stud. You make it tight, rough, whatever. He can't, he doesn't drive it well enough, or there's something along like that you can find within there. That's just another thing with golf that makes it like one of the best and hardest games in the world, where when you are the top 10 player in the world, even top 30, like where you just consistently week in, week out are like finishing in the top 20 of every field, just shows how like well-rounded of players that these guys are and how like good they are. They can do it any venue. It's not just like it's not just like they're playing their home course every week and going out there and tear it up. So, I didn't have much else on Colonial. I know we got a lot in there. It's a big tournament. It's a fun one. Looking forward to, seeing Jack's new place, I guess we'll call it, right? And seeing how these guys kind of, the work that I'm sure they'll talk about it on Thursday. They usually do a good job in PGA Tour Live of talking about some storylines and stuff. So hopefully they talk about, the prep that these guys put in on top of their normal routine and kind of get all that stuff laid out for us to kind of paint the picture for a fun weekend to golf at. what I'm hoping is still an awesome field and kind of, does what big tournaments should do and make the cream rise to the top.
I think we're going to see it this week. I really do.
Yeah, we're going to see some. I think we see a top 10 in the world golfer win this week. That's my final prediction here. I think the grind is on, like we talked about. The U.S. Open is coming. Torrey Pines is coming to haunt them all, and I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. But I think the grind is on, and I think we see a big guy, a big name step up this week. And I think these guys too. Rory is one of them. Fontaine, who I know you mentioned. A lot of these guys really, really love Jack, and they want to show out for his course. And Rory's definitely one of those guys. So look out for Rory. We'll see what he does. Maybe even a Rory first round leader or something. Maybe he goes out ballistic. Probably get some crazy odds on that. But these guys want to show out for him. So I think a big guy wins this week for sure.
Absolutely.
I agree. I don't think anybody I don't think some guy that's under $8,000 is going to be shaking Jack's hand this week. I really don't. It's going to be somebody above, somebody that we've seen, somebody that plays well. It could be a repeat winner on this tour. I don't even think anybody new is going to win this week. Somebody who has won on tour is going to win. I think that's been consistent on this course for a little bit here. Maybe outside of Patrick Cantley, I'm not sure. But other than that, I really do think somebody in the top 10 and DK salaries or even top 15 is going to win. Somebody up there will.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, boys. We'll see how these plays go out this weekend, and hopefully we're in the green come Sunday.
No doubt about it. Good stuff as always.